Well, welcome back everybody, and move on to the next lot of MASH, the 4077, and we're up to season 7. And there we have BJ, Hawkeye and Radar. And there they are on the back. Looks like they're singing and that. And here's some pictures of them, 3 of the episodes. So for this one, we start off with our first one. Here we are. Commander Pierce, Hawkeye discovers it's no picnic to be in command of the unit after Colonel Potter goes to Seoul and leaves him in charge of the 4077. So Hawkeye's in command, and really he doesn't want to be in command. But Sherman's put him in command of the camp and that, and all fun and games and that. And it's even got the date when it was aired. The 18th of the 9th, 78. Looks like these have got the dates on it. So the next one is Peace on Us. Angels of Peace talks. Peace talks have been going on for more than a year. Hawkeye jumps in the Jeep and roars off to the talks, sensing into a knockheads. So Hawkeye decides that he's, because the peace talks have been going on for ages, he's going to sort them out. So this was transmitted the 25th of the 9th, 1978. I think these are the dates in the US. Next one is Lily, Lil. Radar thinks Commander Potter has something more than a friendship on his mind when he gets a little too crazy with a visiting Colonel Lily Rainburn. So this is Radar thinks he's getting too friendly with this lady, and he's getting worried about it and trying to stop him ruining his marriage. But in the end, it's just a friendship. So this was broadcast the 10th of the 2nd, 78. So this next one, I'll find this hour, part 1 and 2. So can be viewed as 2 separate episodes or 1 hour-long episode. So the war continues, and Cyril Robinson returns to the 407 for an update on the contents and morale for another of his famous TV talks. Oh, this is where this TV celebrity come to the 4077 and he's filming what's going on in it and all the different things that happen. So this was made in a 2-part story, because all the episodes was half-hour episodes. So this was filmed the 9th of the 10th, 78. Now for the next one, the Bellfold Symphony. A psychiatrist, Sidney Freeman, is called back to the 4077 by Commander Potter after a young man's medic for a 5th regarding combat team losing his memory. So what happens? This medic lost his memory, and Sydney's come to the 407 to try and get his memory back and help him to recover. So this was transmitted the 16th of the 10th, 78. So our next one, none like it hot. When tensions are soaring over, temperature is soaring over 100 degrees, Hawkeye and BJ come up with a perfect reason. A mail order rubber bathtub from this firm, and they're having like baths and that and keeping it cool, and word gets round about this rubber bathtub. So for our next one is they call the wind clear when the high winds persist to arrive for incoming whirling. Charles decides to go to Seoul for some R&R, but his plans take an unexpected detour after Klinger volunteers to drive. So what happens? They get lost, and I think they get some North Koreans. I don't know if they capture them or they're residing from there. So this was transmitted the 30th of the 10th, 78. So the next one is Major Ego. After receiving a dire patient by performance of a hearty message, Charles makes a call to Star and Stripes so the paper can print an article about his heroics. So this was transmitted the 6th of 1178. Now, for our next one, Baby, It's Cold Outside. When the temperatures fall to 13 Fahrenheit, Charles becomes very unpopular after he finds his full winter polo suit in front of the freezing staff and patients. So what happens? He's got this piece of clothing what is keeps him warm. This was transmitted the 13th of the 1178. So for our next one, a point of view from being shot to being treated in post-op. A visitor seems it's all through the eyes of a young soldier, unable to speak, but able to see everything happening around him. So what happens? This chap gets shot, and it goes from him looking at it and going through from when he gets shot to our operation OR and transferring him to recovery. And this is transmitted the 20th of the 11th, 78. Next one, Dear Comrange. Hawkeye and BJ become to suspect that Charles is over attending a Korean seminar may have more on his mind than just attending to. Charles even divides. So this I don't know what this is, but this was transmitted 27th of 11/78. So for the next one, out of gas. When the unit runs out of oh God, I know what it is. Some Panther, Father McKinley attempts to with a black market rally, but runs into a problem when he takes Charles along. So what they're trying to get some stuff for the 4077, and Charles in his bungling way causes more trouble than help. This was transmitted the 27th of 11/78. No, this was transmitted the 4th of the 12/78. Sorry, I got the wrong date. That was the one before. So the next one is, excuse me, an eye for a tooth. An argument to be passed over for a promotion. Once again, Father McKinley boldly takes matters into his own hands with a new decision result. So what happens? Father McKinley gets passed over a promotion, and what he does, he takes things into his own hands and tries to do it. So this was transmitted the 11th of the 12/78. Now, next one is Dear Sister. Father McKinley sends his sister a Christmas letter bemoan his feelings of uselessness and his dismay dire to the more confronting to intend. So he thinks that he's not doing very well, and he sends a letter to his sister. This was transmitted the 18th of the 12/78. So our next son is BJ Pa Sam. BJ becomes a surrogated father to an immigrant Korean family, but he spends so much time worrying about those that Hawkeye begins to worry about his friend. So this was transmitted the 1st of the 1st/79. So the next one is Inga. The doctors of the 4077 get their egos burned when a beautiful Swedish doctor from first something comes to the OR to learn things, and I think Charles gets mostly involved with her, and BJ and Hawkeye. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, bless you. So this was transmitted the 8th of the 1st/79. Next one, the price. While Colonel Potter tends to find his missing horse, Hawkeye and BJ try to help a young Korean boy who's trying to save missing trying to say missing from a Korean army. So this is where I think his Potter's horse goes missing, and I think the Korean army man takes his horse, and this is transmitted the 15th of the 1st, 79. So the next one, Young and Restless. A hotshot medic stationed in Tokyo has strange ego on the doctors of the 4077 after he shows up to design the latest medical techniques. So someone, this chap turns up to being a medic. This was transmitted the 22nd of the 1st, 79. So for our next one is Hot Lips is back in town. Oh, excuse me, got an itchy nose. So, while Radar takes advantage from Hawkeye on how to deal with a cutting new nurse, Margaret celebrates her divorce and her new self-convicted telepath by Larry. Sorry, that's telling the names of the people. This was transmitted the 29th of the 1st, 79. So Margaret had divorced from what's his name. Next one is C-A Cave when the 407 has to bug out to a nearby cave to avoid US artillery fire. Hawkeye is confronted with a big problem that no one knows about. This critical. So what happens? Hawkeye's don't like being in caves and that, and he has a problem with it. So this was transmitted the 5th of the 2nd, 79. Next one, Rally Round the Flag's Boy. Colonel Flagg returns to the 4077 after Hawkeye is suspected of being a constant sympathizer because he tends to wounded North Korean soldiers before the Americans. So Flagg turns off, he's that CIA commander who keeps pretending to be other people, and because Hawkeye looked after this North Korean soldier before the Americans. So this was transmitted 14th of the 7th, 14th of the 2nd, 79. Post-medic. Hawkeye provides some practice medical after learning that a careless commander's actions are resulting for a large number of casualties and of his troops under his command. So what happens? This commander's sending his troops into battle where it's not very good. So this was transmitted the 19th of the 3rd, 79. So for our next one, A Night at Rosie's. A depressed Hawkeye heads to Rosie's bar and spends the night hanging out with an AWLO sergeant and all the folks that Commander Potter sends over to bring him back to the camp. So this is where Hawkeye, everybody ends up staying there, and they're all hell. This was transmitted the 26th of the 3rd, 79. So for another one, a love grand. While Klinger meets a girl who finds his bizarre attraction, Charles falls in love with a Korean working girl at Rosie's. So Winchester falls in love with this, Korean girl who's a woman of the night, and Klinger meets a girl where he finds his bizarre attitude and that. Now, next, the party. Talks of a reunion party after the war gives BJ another idea, having to stateside family members and the 407 get together for a party in New York. This was transmitted on the 12th of the 3rd, 79. So this is what they've done. They send everybody, like they say, do a party of everybody's family members at a hotel in New York. So that was the end of season 7. Now we're up to season 8, and there's BJ with a pair of gloves, what is made into a balloon. Excuse my cough. So, now for this one, too many cooks. A new arrival warm soldiers soon wins the hearts of everyone at the 407 with his gourmet cooking, but Colonel Potter is he wants with the letter from his wife in notice. So Potter's more concerned that a letter from his wife, but they've got this soldier who's been wounded, and he's a gourmet cook, and they want to keep him. But he ends up with this colonel taking the cook from 4077, and they end up having, crap food again. Now, our next one, Are You Now, Margaret? A common visitor of the 4077 happens to get Margaret to testify against an old boyfriend whose combat Joe Carter thinks is a command. So I'm not sure about that one. So our next one is Gather My Dreams. Hawkeye, BJ and Margaret try to save a wounded Korean woman who's the Republic of the Korean officer is convinced is an enemy fighter. So next one is Goodbye Radar. This is a 2-part story. Radar returns from R&R in Tokyo just into time to receive a wire from his mother letting him know that Uncle Ed has died. So this is bad news. And the next part, Goodbye Radar Part 2. such uncertainties over whether he should go home. Radar feels he can find leaving the party does not go exactly to plan. So Klingon's going to take over Radar's job, and Radar feels like he can't leave to go back to help his parents and that, his mother. So they get him, they talk him round, and this is where the end of Radar. And if you can see the pictures, little pictures at the bottom, and this is where we say goodbye to Radar. Next one is Nurse Doctor. When Father McCaney helps an ambitious nurse provide for her entry exam into the medical school, he fears the nurse has become a little too friendly. So the nurse has come too friendly with Father McCavey and that, and things are getting too friendly, Private's financials. While Hawkins sends a dead soldier, this is where earn money to the soldier's parents back to the States. A South Korean woman is upset when Klinger tends to help her daughter financial. So what it is, this soldier dies and all this money's, they try and send it back, but they find it's old money, so they give it away to someone. So the next one is Mr. and Mrs. Who. Charles returns from R&R in Tokyo with a hangover and a violent and uneasy feeling of romance, entangled just as the 407 face the outbreak of deadliness. What happens? He ends up getting married, but he isn't married. So after he's made the drunken thing in Tokyo. So the next one is the young brick road. Standing on the country road with a carton of ambitions back in the OR. Hawkeye and Bria stumbles upon a North Korean soldier intent upon surrendering to them. So what happens? This Korean man surrenders to Hawkeye and BJ. Next one is Lifetime. All the doctors prepare in the operation on the wounded soldier suffering from a legitimate known that if the surgeon isn't completed within 12 minutes, he could die. He could be found paralysed for life. So what happens? They are trying to find some thing to help this soldier to save his life. So they only have short time to do it. So for our next one, between learning the ropes of his new job and catering to the women of the 4077 officers, Klingon takes a quick minute to write home to his uncle in Toledo, Ohio. So, dear Uncle Abbas. So this is where Klinger's trying to get some advice. So for our next one is Captain's Outrageous. A brawl at Rosie's turns Rosie's into a patient and doctors into temporary saloon keeping while Father McCartney worries about he is passed over for promotion once again. So there's trouble at Rosie's and that. And for our next one is Stars and Stripes. BJ and Charles lock horns when an Army College of students asks them to write an official paper for their journal detailing their surgery. The two doctors perform together. So this is where BJ and Charles are writing a paper and they're at Lockheed's, to write their own piece. And it all goes Pete Tong. Next one, Yes Sir, That's Our Baby. When a baby girl is born to a Korean woman and an American GI is abandoned at the 407, the doctors seem to come up with the best solution for finding the baby a new home. So I'm not sure how this story works out. So for the next one, a bottle of Fadrons. Hawkeye is shocked into giving up drink for a week after he realised a huge hangbar tub twice as big as BJ's from the officer club. So he decides to go on the buckle, goes dry for a week. Next one, Heroes Low Self. When Colonel Potter and Charles are qualified together with the mumps, a replacement surgeon who seems to hit a perfect with the 407 cracks under the pressure. So this surgeon actually cracks under pressure, and Potter, with his illness, finds him. Next one is Old Soldiers. The doctor becomes concerned about Colonel Potter's unusual behaviour after he returns from a mystery trip to the hospital in Tokyo. So things are not going so good because they think there's something up with Colonel Potter in this one. So next one is the moral victory, I think that is. Charles is dismayed when he learns that the soldier who he performed surgery on perfectly restored his leg and only leaves one hand slightly damaged. Is a constant penis. So what happens? This soldier has got one hand what he can't play the piano with. So Charles helps him, shows him that there is a way that he can continue to play the piano. Now, the next one, lend a hand. Hawkeye is able when Dr. Ruber his visit the doctors who has arrived to an unexpected new gathering technique volunteered to accompany Hawkeye to the front. When a doctor there is injustice. So I'm not sure about that one. So, goodbye, cruel world. Psychiatrist Sidney Freeman is called back to the 4077 when a wounded Asian American soldier tries to kill himself after Hawkeye tells him that he's been sent back home. So Sidney has to help him, from it. So next one, The Dream. After 2 days of non-stop inference of wandering, the doctors are finally allowed short cat naps in which they explore dreams that reveals their fears and desires and fractions. So this is where they're all dreaming and that, and they all have different dreams. So for the next one, war commit when a famous female war correspondent arrives at the 4077 in Paris falls in love with BJ, and a confused BJ can't see to stop himself from falling back in love with her. So this is sort of like BJ falls in love with his correspondent and they have to help him to get over it. Next one is Payback. After learning how the doctors back into the state is making money, taking x-rays from members of a select service, Hawkeye decides to build the army for his medical services. So what it is, Hawkeye finds out that in America he can get money. So what he does, he builds the army for all this money, what he owes, says they're owing. So April Fools, Colonel Potter, a prankster, when Colonel Daniel Webster Tucker, and hard-nosed Colonel known for as a stickler, strikes a visit to the 407 during an outbreak of April Fool's Day hilarity. So what happens, this person is a friend of Potter and they set everybody up, and it is, so that's the end of season 8. So I would say goodbye for now, and this is the end of season 7 and 8, and I hope you enjoy and stay tuned for the next one. So I'll say goodbye for now.